Yo, good morning, guys. I'm hopping on here to let you know what's good. So basically, today's the last day of the Mercury retrograde. Congratulations, everybody! You guys made it through. Um, in this retrograde, I've been doing a lot of affirmations, a lot of self-talk, a lot of reflecting. I wake up in the morning. I still lay down and I watch content for a few hours before I even start my day, or maybe a couple hours or an hour. But I'll listen to a theta beat and I watch some like RSD Max or whatever, just some sort of self development stuff. And um, yeah, I basically probably 10 out of these 20 days of the retrograde, I didn't sleep much at all. So haven't been like sleeping much during this retrograde. It's been a rough one. A lot of trauma in this retrograde. Whatever, right? I think I'm like 45 days semen retained now, or like 44 days. So like I'm definitely going up with that. But last night was a rough one for me, and I had a realization that I want to share here for you guys on YouTube. Is at the end of the day, everything you want is behind a glass barrier, a glass ceiling, or a force field of your own mind. Last night I was completely tired. There was like this situation where like I was like surrounded by like 20 kids like five different times at the Irvine Spectrum. And like most of the times were cool and shit, but then one of the times like it was cool, but there was like 30% of the kids were trying to clown on me. And like I was being cool with these people. I was like these kids over here that knew what I was talking about, and I was trying to give them like um, information because, dude, the youth is the future, right? And I'm giving them information about breathing techniques, about all this stuff, right? And like, there's kids over here that are trying to clown me, whatever, right? And it got kind of tense with two of the kids, like some big 6'3" dude. He was like, "Hey, man, I think God is talking to you over there," and I was like, I just looked at him for like 7 seconds and just held that eye contact. And he looked away, and then I was like, "Man, you're the big kid on campus, huh? Who like tries to bully everybody with your size." And I just called him out on that and shit, um and like all the girls were like, the girls were cool. Girls are usually cool with me. Except last night actually there was one. I went down Newport. This girl was like, "Hey, you ever got drunk off this?" I had like some coconut water. She's like, "Coconut water? That's fucking disgusting." Da 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 da. She was in a bad. She's having a bad fucking night. Anyways, I was like super tired. I didn't want to go out, and like I walk into the venue and there's this one girl, and I'm like, "Oh my god, she is fucking sexy." And she checked me out twice. Usual me goes and says hi. I was just like, "Oh, get me the fuck out of here," and I just walked out and I went home. And I was meditating, and I had a recollection to a dream that I had recently during the retrograde, like 2 nights ago. And in the dream I was getting raped by some guy. He had me like tied up and he was just doing every fucking bad thing that you could think of to me, right? And that's a weird dream to have as a guy, you don't really have that fear of getting raped as much, right? As a girl. And in my meditation I realized that, like, holy shit, that was me raping me. That was my ego. That was my fears. And there was one part in the dream where like the dream like flickered, like I was in the dream and I was stuck and bad things were happening, and then all of a sudden the dream like changed and I had a knife and I was hiding behind the door and he walked in and I stabbed him in the fucking throat, like up through the face, and I killed him, right? But in the other dream, like when it flickered away from me being fucking tied up or whatever, like vulnerable. And I kind of realized that I just decided to change the dream and be lucid. So like manifestation kind of works like that. You think you're stuck, and then all of a sudden you just decide, I'm changing the dream. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, this girl's checking me out. Oh, I just want to go home. No. Hi. You look like a savage. What's your name? Whatever, you know? That's the key. And then here's the lesson, or not the lesson, but like, I'm telling you what my next steps are right here. I really, really, with this vibe, from this place, from these realizations, resonated when I saw someone doing ayahuasca on Instagram. Because when you take ayahuasca, you basically die. You feel death. You experience death. That's what you do, right? You have to go die. You have to take ayahuasca and die to be reborn, right? Same thing with um doing like a 40-day fast because you feel like you're gonna die. And that's like 40 days of experiencing your own death over and over and over and over and over. And it doesn't end for 40 days, so it builds your persistence. And I was thinking about this guy, Connor Murphy, if you guys have been watching his content lately. But he went from shy, flexing for girls, needing validation, getting jacked to boost his self-esteem, to doing OnlyFans with like tons of girls, doing like these prima sata yoga things, whatever he calls them, in public with girls. He did it even with a guy, with like a homeless guy. Like he lost all of his um fear and worry about third party perspectives, and I know it came from the fast. He changed from that fast. Not only did he change from that fast, um, in a way where he doesn't feel fear, but also, he's just enjoying life to the fullest because the absence of fear, he steps into every situation, and he's saying things like "I am God" and stuff like that. That's another thing that 6'3" dude said to me. He was like, "Hey, God's over there," and I was like, "I am God." But listen, so between bioenergetics screaming like, "Get the fuck off of me! Get off of me! Get the fuck off of me! Get the fuck off of me!" Doing scream therapy and shit like that, right? Between that and doing um ayahuasca and if like a 40-day fast or 20-day fast or whatever, those are my next moves because I realized like there's a few more things I can do. There's a few more things that I can do to challenge myself to build and shape character instead of just approaching these girls as I am or building this business as I am. It's just going to come out a little fucked up. I'm going to get with girls that aren't my 10s, they're maybe my 8s, 9s. I'm going to build businesses and make money, but it's not that billion or not that 100 million, it's just that 10 mil or whatever, right? We got to go within and change ourselves first, become lucid in the dream, take back control of our lives. And you do that by number one, facing death. You got to find a way to face death. The best way, I mean, I guess skydiving would work. Uh, Skydiving's a trip, but I think that doing ayahuasca is just as good. Going into that unknown, because if you want your dreams to happen in this reality before you die, which by the way, death itself is the most gnarly experience. If you want to be prepared for what's inevitably going to come, you might as well go and face it now. And then once you do that, everything can change for you. Done.